All right,
Yep.
let's go.
DJ Neptune, welcome to the whole truth, where we like to sit with we used to sit down before Corona came and spoiled everything for us.
I
We used
know.
to sit with our faves and we would talk about, and the beauty about it was that it was not just music people, we just people we like. We once
Yeah.
literally had an episode with the Living in Bondage Kenneth Okonkwo. So once just a person of interest whose craft we follow, we just want to listen to you tell us the stories from the beginning that we don't know about. We know what you're
Okay.
doing now. We know the content you're putting out, but how did you get here from a random kid in secondary school and stuff like that? That's so we
That's what
always
you
want
want me
that
to.
story.
Okay.
That story first, then we have a couple of questions. So just
All
get
right.
right into it.
Okay. So for me, I started pretty early. Growing up, I'd always wanted to be an entertainer, even though my popsy was not subscribing to that. But along the line, he passed away, so I had to start making decisions for myself. So it all started for me around 1999, when I escaped the house at night to attend a party, a friend's party, and that was the first time I saw a DJ for the first time. I've been listening to radio shows, I've been hearing DJ mix, but I've never seen one perform live. And I walked into the party, I saw one slim guy behind two decks. He had his long hair. And the guy was just flipping from one hand to another hand, touching the middle. I was
Was it a
confused.
popular
And the drum,
DJ? Yeah.
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no. As at that time, not. I trust me. That was even the first and last time I saw him. I don't know where he is, but I mean, so I saw that and I went back home the
Bet
next
he knows
morning.
where you are.
Shout out to the DJ.
He probably didn't even know he inspired my movement, but God bless him wherever he is. So at that point, I told myself, okay, this is it. Because I'd always wanted to go into entertainment. So I started off learning how to sing. I had one uncle that used to come home every weekend, then shout out to Uncle Kemi. But my popsy was not subscribing to it at all. So at that point when I encountered the DJ Mix Live, I told myself, okay, this is it. This is the arm of entertainment I want to go into. So I started chasing. Friday nights, I know they sleep. Shout out to DJs like Snoop the Damager, um, um, DJ FX2, like those cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go sit down with the radio. Guy, trust me, I know when they want to play the station
Record.
island. I don't press
Yeah.
Just
pause.
record.
I swear. I swear.
When they don't finish, I pause. So I'll take those tapes, go to school. Then we're having like school parties. I'll be feeling funky with myself, playing those mixtapes. And then gradually I told myself, you know what, you actually need to do the right thing. So fast forward to 2001, when my dad passed away. I had to change location. Then I moved to Egbeda. Then I met DJ
Egbeda.
Douglas. That guy.
Oh
So
my
then I
God.
Now
met
you're from Ike.
then I met DJ Douglas, who's based in the UK now. I understudied under him. It wasn't really easy because then I was still in secondary school. So after school, I would go to his studio. Me, I be sharp guy. I'm a fast learner, so I went there with this confidence. Say, Baba, I done the DJ already. Forget. I say I don't get equipment, but because of the cost of equipment, records, then we're buying. It wasn't digital, whatever what we're doing now. It was strictly records, vinyl. So then we're buying songs. One song, imagine early 2000, we buy one song for 1,500, record. And at the party, you need at least like minimum of, say, for a 5-hour set, you need minimum of like say 100 to 120 records. So every DJ then was very careful with their gadgets. And I mean, so I understood where DJ Douglas was coming from. But me being a sharp guy, I would go just watch him. I was trying to calculate what he was queuing in his head, the beat and all that. And then I was also getting familiar with the music he was playing. And then fast forward to one fateful day, then at the follow and the carry speaker, we they go party up and down. So we went to this gig, and he's been playing. I mean, when nature hits you, you just have to do the right thing. Baba one piece, so he had to go excuse himself, and then went to the restroom. And it took him like forever to get back, and the song was almost coming to an end. I still remember it was a request line that was playing. And me being the sharp boy, I already kind of like had an idea of the next song that I can mix in. I just summoned the courage, went on the turntable, picked a record, put it on, I put my headset. I was monitoring, like, oh, I've heard him say first beat, first beat. The moment I caught my first beat, I juggled it, released it, chased the pitch, and beat match it in my head before pulling out the fader. And bro, that was it. Like Baba ran out. Like,
What was the
what
song?
happened?
What's for your first song?
What was the
Yeah.
song you what was the song you added to request line?
I think it was maybe J Blige's Family Affair. I think that was the record. I
Which
think that was
request
the
and
record.
this is the DJ
Mr.
on the
DJ,
radio.
Mr.
Yeah,
Radio
and
Man.
then
Okay.
yeah, that record, and then Family Affair.
Okay,
I,
okay. That time that the song goes, hey DJ, hey
DJ, yeah,
DJ.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
why
yeah,
you
yeah.
believe said that they follow you to that thing they follow.
See this guy, So that was where it started for me. And then I remember the end of the evening. He told me, okay, I think you're ready for this. Go buy your pin. Then I issued it with the go buy pin and pin. Then I think it was between 400. And that pin, if you don't take careful, if it break, that's it. You need to go buy another one. So I saved up money. I bought a set for myself. And then every evening after school, I would go practice, practice, practice. And then I ended up working under him. And fast forward to 2004, a friend of mine who we both grew up in the same area in Alagbado, is that I think he's still working with that communication, owners of AIT and Raypower. So he spoke to his dad like, Patrick, my name is Patrick, by the way. He said, Daddy, Patrick didn't DJ and sing. Patrick did bad go. Because I spoke to him that I would love to do radio. And then the dad said, okay, no problem. I'll speak to the guys in charge and the
Any
GM
and
and
demon
then
in it.
well, it wasn't Kenny and D1 directly, but the GM then Mrs. Pauline Obudaga. I mean,
Okay.
I came on board. Likes of DJ Ortega, Sugar Ray,
Uh,
who's moved to America right now. So that's how I got into Raypower, and then boom, everywhere blew up. DJ Neptune. Before I
Neptune.
knew what was going on, were everywhere. So that's how the journey began for me. And then I did radio straight 6 years, quit in 2010. Before then, 2008, I met with Nato C. He signed me up as his band DJ. And then from there, we started touring around Africa, everywhere. Everywhere you see Nato C, I was there. And then boom, 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 boom. And so my career just take spill off to where we did today.
To greatness.
Yeah,
I
Sometimes they will
remember.
always ask for.
I have said the truth and
Sometimes they
nothing
always
but the
ask
truth.
for like
And nothing
stories.
but the truth.
They always ask like
you know,
backstories. So I want to know how that 1 2 3 with
Emma.
that like as the one inspired that song, how that song come about.
Okay. So 1 2 3. There's actually an original version with MI. We created that in 2009. Then I think I just moved to Lagos around that period, say 2008 or thereabout. And
2009,
then
yeah.
his manager then, Angry Mob, came to Raypower to promote
Obina.
his crowd. Yeah, Obina, came to promote his crowd mentality and then track then. So that's how we became pals. I told him I would love to work with MI, and then yeah, I mean, he introduced me to Jude. I went to then. We recorded that song at Jeannie's crib somewhere on that. I can't remember the area, but around that side, sha. So I linked up with MI, and then the synergy was right. We created 1 2 3, the original version. MI rapped straight 40 bars, no chorus. Well, one chorus at the beginning, at the end. And then with the success of that record, and based on the fact that I was already working with NATO C, so I kind of like had this alliance with Storm Records. Shout out to Uncle Obi Asika. And
Yeah.
then Obi being the music guy, like, yo, Neptune, then there has to be a remix for the song. Like, this is hip hop, this is Toko di Lamba. I say, okay, no, I will make it happen. So shout out to that Green as well, who may his soul rest in peace, who's also a good
Mm.
friend. I spoke to NATO. NATO said, let's do it. I spoke to that Green. That Green said, let's do it. And I'm happy I recorded that remix when I did, because we recorded the remix in February, and then 3 days after, myself and NATO traveled to Yankee for our tour, and then like a couple of weeks later, the Green passed away. So may his soul continue to rest in peace. And that's how we came up with 1 2 3, the original and remix version.
Was that your first song at the time?
That was not my first song, but I would say that was like the first official single. Like when I said, okay, you know what, I am ready. So I done tracks like this Bedu with Shank and Ice Prince. No, wait, with Shank first, I think, before the Ice Prince one. But when I told myself, okay, I want to start producing my own record, that was with 123, the original version in 2009.
He produced that song.
No, MI produced the song, oh. Not be me
Okay.
produced the song,
Oh,
oh. Yeah,
oh
MI
wow.
produced the original and the remix, yeah. That I
So
mean,
at
like
what
when I decided I wanted to start putting out
To,
my
yeah,
own
yeah.
record,
To
yeah.
be DJ Khaled. Yeah.
Yeah.
so at what point
Okay.
did you like feel like it was necessary to start making records? Because like I think at the point you started, like we didn't have a lot of DJs who were like into making tunes and all that stuff. So like at what point did you decide, and what were like the factors that actually led you to like take that step?
So I started thinking towards that direction around 2007, 2008. Shout out to DJ Jimmy Jat. He also inspired me
Yeah,
to want to start putting out tracks aside from familiar names from the Western world like the Fat Man Scoop, the DJ Funk Master
DJ
Flex,
Clue.
DJ Clue and all them guys back over there, So shout out to DJ Jimmy Jazz, who's like a major pioneer when it comes to DJing in Africa as far as we're concerned.
yeah.
So I told myself, okay, DJs do put out record, DJs own record. It's a global movement. But then when I started, a lot of people didn't really understand. Even till now, some people just like, what did you guys do? You just come, just
Will
shout
they
at
come
the
to that
beginning,
question? Will they
shout at
come
the
to
end. Uh,
You go still ask that question.
Don't worry, I
Yeah.
got I go answer on aware. I
yeah?
already I full ground. So shout out to the likes of Jimmy, and then I started putting my own record. Then yeah, it's been good so far.
Okay, so that question now, like basically when a DJ is on a track, you get
Yeah,
like what exactly? I'm not talking about the track that you actually get. Like I feel like on Shay's last project, there were a couple of
yeah,
DJs. I think there was one DJ on every track. Now, what exactly does
yeah.
the DJs? What do they do on those tracks? Like when you get like a DJ Neptune song, like or DJ Neptune featuring DJ Neptune, we not say you know the rap. I will not say you know the sing. So what exactly do DJs do on those tracks?
Okay, so you asked two questions, the Shay one, and then what DJs do on their own track. So let me
Yeah,
kick off with the Shay one first. So that project I think it was a strategy from our own camp as regards working with DJs, because you need to understand that DJs are actually very powerful. They are very instrumental in the entertainment
Now
industry.
you they rotate the music now, of course.
You
gatekeepers,
you
man.
get me, and not just only me. You get millions of DJs scattered. Okay, let's say Nigeria now. You as an artist, you release record. Yes, you go put them for radio. You go put them for TV. But how many times radio one play them in a day? Now,
Fact.
check this out. You have millions of DJs scattered all around the world. If your record is good and these DJs jump on it, bro, it becomes an automatic anthem. And they give
Anthem,
you
yeah.
a different feel, different ways of mixing, remixes with pop up, different ways of introducing the song to the audience. So it gives a different feeling compared to when you just listen to it on the radio and when you watch the video on TV. So
Sure,
that was the plan with
sure.
that Shay's project. So it had me, it had Spino, it had DJs
Copy
from
and
copy DJs from South Africa
yeah,
as well. So basically tapping into everybody's fan base and strength to help project the record.
progress.
Now
Yeah.
to the next question, what do DJs do on the track? So I can only speak for myself, because
Okay.
for me, I co-produced. Like I said, I started off with music, but my dad wasn't in full support with that. So along the line, I started going into production. But you know how it is, as especially in this environment, as a teenager, when you're growing and then you start making money, you just think some things are not really really that important. So I didn't take production important. Or rather, production wasn't as important to me then as compared to now. So and the reason why I say this is because production takes a lot of time. You have to sit down, choice of tone, think, melody, and all that. And oh boy, time now money. You
Fact.
get me? So fast forward to now, what I do is I co-produce under my label Neptune Records. I have producers I work with, so they send me beats. We're in the studio together, and then okay, let's go this direction, let's go this route, let's rearrange the song this way, And then while that is done, I'm also contacting whoever artists I feel should be on the record,
Record.
and sometimes I already kind of like have an idea of what I want us to talk about. So we just sit, we chat, okay, you know what, Kiss, I think we should go this direction. Okay, Peruzzi, I want something about a girl who did this to a guy, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. You now being the creative guy, interpret it in your own way, and it's open, it's fair. I mean, when the product is done, everyone gets their share. There's royalty splits, there's publishing, it's business at the end of the day, one, and then it's vibe for people to consume. Like I gave you an instance with the 123 remix. If I didn't make that record as at that time, there wouldn't have been a record with these three heavyweight rap artists.
Facts.
Mi, Nato C, and like them as an artist probably weren't even thinking towards that
Okay.
direction. So these are the added values that people need to understand. It's at the end of the day, music heals the soul. Consume it. Whoever made it should not be your headache. Just enjoy yourself. So that's it.
Well
Okay,
spoken.
so was from DJing at events and then you're making tracks. What does it take for our DJs, like a DJ Neptune, to have some of all those big festivals? Like while you have like a David Guetta or some of all those people that have these festivals where people are just coming to just come and jam. I don't think we've gotten to that point yet. What would it take?
Okay, so that's a very very key question. As DJs, as Afrobeat DJs, or as African DJs, or let me say Afrobeat. Let me stay on Afrobeat. You need to understand that Afrobeat is like an emerging genre that's blowing up all around the world right now. And as DJs, you need to be smart to position yourself in a direction whereby if they're having big festivals and they're thinking of bringing Afrobeat artists and also bringing in Afrobeat DJ, you're in the conversation. But now, what has been happening is even the foreign DJs are now playing Afrobeat. You get
Yeah.
me? So it's a psychological thing. So as a promoter, you might look at it like, okay, do I really need to hire a DJ from
No.
Africa to come perform at this festival? But then, as a smart DJ, you don't need to wait for anybody to book you. Build your brand to that level. Be in the conversation. If you have to
Yeah.
go play the first festival gig for free, go do it. Showcase yourself. Let them know this is what you're capable of doing, and that's
Yeah.
the level I am right now. Like, listen, I don't just want to be seen as a Nigerian DJ. Take for instance, why I said let me stay on Afrobeat. I'll use coffee black coffee
Black of
as
black of.
as as a case study. So black coffee does house music. Now that genre is global. You have people that love house music in South America, you have them in North America, you have them in Europe, you have them in Africa. So to him, is not really limited. And also, I feel he built his brand to a certain level whereby a club in either New York, I think he's a resident in a club in New York or Nevada. I'm not too sure. And black coffee is earning big because that genre is well established. Like
Yeah.
real house EDM DJs
Yeah.
earn about 250K per gig, 300K per gig. But these guys are doing like 2011. I was opportunity to be in the club where Tiesto played, David Guetta played. Bro, in Miami that day, there's nowhere you are in Miami. The promo was mad. There was a little plane that had a banner flying round Miami saying DJ Tiesto at Club Leave tonight. They no born your papa where.
May you know see am,
Everybody,
or
You
may you
fall
not
every
in.
go.
You fall in.
everybody was there. And then when I got to the venue, Baba had his full big truck packed outside. Like the packaging, everything was just. But I mean, homeboy earns 300K per gig, and in the night he owns a private jet. He can probably be in 3 or 4 cities. And these guys, they play according to hour. No be here when promoter go book you. He go tell you, say, Baba, the party go start 7 p.m. But the party no go start at 1 a.m. You get me? So a lot of things are still not properly fixed, but it's a gradual process. We will get there. We will get there. So that's it.
There
So I
was
want to know,
something
like,
that
you have, okay, ask.
I should go to Nate.
Yeah, go, go.
Okay, so there was something DJ Copy did sometime in 2015 that I think that should actually happen more often when she was launching her Copy Takes Africa tour. So her the official the launch event was in Lagos, and it was a lineup of DJs. She was there. She had Obi. She had Gossip, all these people, and it was different sets. So the crowd, everybody knew that what we were coming to do was we're just going to come and hear different DJs jamming.
Yeah.
Shouldn't there be more like that? Shouldn't we be
Okay.
doing more stuff like that? And
More
when last
collaboration.
was there something else like that? When last was there a gig like that?
It's happening. It's happening because I mean, to my best of knowledge, Exclusive has his own concerts, his own show,
Yes,
and
Joe.
it brings in DJ. Spinner does the same as well. Jimmy Jat has been doing it with Jimmy Jump Off for over
God,
10 years or thereabout. I had mine last year in November, the Sounds of Neptune at Morio Kola Park, and I had my DJ friend and artist come perform as well. So you see, like I said, there's been growth in the industry. It wasn't like this some years ago. And the work everybody is putting in now, we might not end up benefiting from it that much, but the next generation
Yeah,
would
good on it.
obviously, if they know what they're
Yeah,
doing,
so
hopefully, I
you're
believe they
actually
know what they're
building the
doing.
next
They,
generation.
yeah, you get me. So that's it.
Okay,
Hey,
Tunde.
so me wanted to ask, like, given like the difficulties it to work with Nigerian artists, as in how difficult is it bringing like all these guys together
Tunde,
on
now
the
you
track?
talk
Because like
amo.
this is your
Tunde, now you
greatest
talk
album, and
amo.
you're like sometimes they tire you, go, I don't do it again. I beg, like, how difficult is it to bring all these guys together on the track?
All right, so it's okay. I will always use myself as an example because I can only speak for myself in situations like this. So for me, if you listen to my debut album, Greatness in 2018, it took me a while to put that album together because not just because I couldn't just wake up and say, okay, I have enough materials, I want to put them out, but I wanted to bring out key collaboration. And trust me, it takes time, it takes a lot of patience. And because I know what I want to achieve at the end of the day, I told myself, okay, no matter how long it's going to take me, we will do it and do it the right way. It's not easy, but another thing is you need to understand that you are busy, they are busy, they are human beings, you're human beings, so it's how your approach matters. And sometimes I think it's always okay, so what does this guy have to offer? What's it's there's that
Yeah,
thought
that's
of, okay, if I
conversation.
do this for this guy, I go need them later. You
Yeah,
get me? And if you're the sort of person that has carried his or herself in a very, like say your shoulder day on top of your head,
Braga.
you get me? So it might be difficult to have such conversation. But I'll give you an instance. If you go back to that album, the first track, Blood and Fire, features Mi and Jesse Jacks.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Jags,
Yeah,
yeah. Emma and
I
yeah,
Jags.
kid I kid you not, Jesse Jacks recorded his verse in 2015 on a different beat. Bro, because I wanted Mi on that track. Me and Mi
okay,
with the jump for show, with the see, with the talk about, we didn't have the right time to be in the studio together. I waited 3 years after to
damn.
get Mi's voice, Mi's vocals. But at the end of the day, when you listen to the record, oh, bad hip hop jam, but
Yeah.
patience. So not as if MI wasn't gonna come through for me. Everybody was busy. There are days where MI would say, Neptune, I know say we don't talk this matter. Yeah, come house. I go say, Ababa, I know even the Lagos. I did somewhere for East, they hustle. So that's it.